Alright, what's up guys? AT Spectre 8K here with my Parsippany New Jersey True Draco Kozmo deck profile. Uh, Ultimate Rare OTS Terraforming. Awesome card. Not in the deck though, because I'm not playing with an OTS card that's worth like $40. Not happening. But let's get right into it really quick. One thing as of note, this is an ultra cool meta mat I got from the owner at the tournament. I'll go over a review of meta mats in a bit in another video, but I just want to get to the deck. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Main deck. Let's jump head first, I guess. Two Masterpiece, the True Draco Slaying King. Basically the big daddy of the deck. There's two other big daddies, but he's like the main one. You know, self-standard, you contribute spells and traps, continuous ones. Pop one card on the field once per turn, he becomes unaffected. He's like the boss. Everybody knows him now. Two Miriams, they're really great. I learned this from Ahmed Ghazi. I watched one of his videos, and I've been playing this deck since like April. I did the True King Kozmo engine, but I saw he put Miriam in the deck, and I kind of really like it because like you contribute, like if you have Majesty's Maiden, you can use Miriam's effect to get Miriam out of the hand and this out of the hand to get like kind of like the bricky cards out. And if you pop it with Diagram, you get two searches, so you can go straight into Masterpiece, which is really awesome. So that's it for the true Draco monsters. I used to play Ignis Heat instead, but Ignis was kind of slower, but he's just a really cool card too. But next, I also played around with the True Draco, the other one, the General. But for the Cosmos, one Dark Eclipse negates traps. One thing that people don't realize is this card can negate evenly matched. I actually did it in a match. First turn, I summoned Dark Eclipser off a Tin Can effect. Tagged out for this to protect my boards because I got evenly matched twice. And in a previous duel, and I summoned him turn one, and my opponent dropped evenly matched, and I negated it, which is fucking awesome. But enough of the cursing. Let's get back into it. Kozmo Tin Can 3. Used to play only 2 with 2 straw men, but the engine that I'm playing, the more cards, it really just breaks the deck down so much more. Gets you additional card in hand, and it's great. You can just tribute it off late game. Plus, I'm playing some XYZ card for it. One Dark Lady negates monster effects. You can negate hand traps with her too. I did that often. Somebody tried to Ash Blossom me. First thing I did was if I had a Dark Lady and like a little guy, like a Tin Can in hand, and I had like another Cosmo monster and a Diagram. I did this combo where I go into a Tin Can, tag out, go into Dark Lady, and then when they try and Ash my Diagram pop, I just Dark Lady them and they can't do anything for the rest of the turn, basically, with Ash Blossom. So, pretty cool. And if they Ghost Ogre this, so if they chain Ghost Ogre, you still get the negate effect, which is really cool. So they can't get rid of the Diagram, which is like a big part of this deck. 3 Slip Riders to pop face downs. I really make my deck specifically for Pendulum Magician and Trickstar, my main deck, to shut them down, but also a little Spiral Hate as well. And this card's just great against everything. It also floats. One Big Daddy Dank Destroyer. If he was at 3, this deck would be amazing again. Pop one monster, can't be targeted, destroys 1, floats. 2 Strawmen. Basically banish, say this is banished off an effect. Activate effect, bring him back. He dies on end phase. I have a 3000 beat stick, and then I get to float again, which is awesome. He also tags out from hand. 1 Farm Girl, OTK of the deck, basically, and she also tags out. Wicked Witch protects against OTKs. I took this from Ahmed Ghazi. I used to only side her in, but like I said, Pendulum Magician's getting bigger, so if you main deck this, it protects against OTKs. Landwalker. People don't realize this. If you attack into like a Farm Girl, for instance, and you want to kill her, I can activate Landwalker's effect, kill my Landwalker instead, and float down into a Slip Rider and pop your shit. And my Farm Girl's unaffected, and you just used her attack. So I take battle damage, but that's about it. 2 Forerunners. Gain 1000 life points during standby phase. I float down from Dark Destroyer into him most of the time. Trickstar hates this card because every time they burn me, I just bring life points back, and they can't really get over him. 3 Terraformings. Like I said, I'm not playing my OTS one. It's just up there. I played with the commons. Searches your field spells. 2 Kozmo Town. If you ever play Magic, this card is like a mulligan. You drop this. If your hand sucks, you just mulligan. There's a lot of synergy in this deck, so you're never really bricking. I never bricked with this deck. Never like bricked. You can get like suboptimal hands, but you'll never brick ever, and you're always in games. 3 diagram for the pops. Desires. I so thought about taking this out and putting in Allure of Darkness because of so many dark targets. But then I would have to play 3 straw men and not 2 instead of the 3 tin can. I'd play 3 straw men and 2 tin can. But I just like this because it thinned my deck 10 cards, and then I got the draw 2 anyway. Because this card is like +1, where Allure of Darkness is a even card. So basically, this thins my deck and pluses you 2. Well, pluses you 1 card, technically, because you have to activate this card from your hand, and then you +1. Allure of Darkness is not a +1, and plus you have to rely on getting a light monster, a dark monster. And all the problem is all the true Draco monsters are light, and so is Slip Rider. And if you send them to the graveyard, they're basically dead. So unless you bring them out with Call, which I'll get into. E-Telly, I used this like 4 times in the tournament. I got ashed once, which was awesome, because then I just went into Diagram and did my plays, and he was like mad salty. But E-Telly, free monster. 2 Heritage for the draw power potential, and the tributes for Masterpiece. 1 Book of Eclipse for spiral plays and anything you hate. Main decking this, it was great. 1 Stormforth for tributes. 1 Reasoning for the free monster summon. 1 Set Rotation because it's set rotation. It's at 1. Disciples, shuffle 3, draw 1. Pretty awesome. 2 Apocalypse for set this if it's against a monster like a monster I can't get over. You flip this, you cut its attack in half, and then I just beat over it with a small Kozmo. 2 Call the Haunted for the special summons from Grave. I like this over Back to the Front because then you have tributes for Masterpiece. So on your turn, I can use the Call the Haunted that's left for Masterpiece, which is really cool. So, yeah. Back to the Front doesn't give me that. 2 Anti-Spell. 1 from one from like the really cool pack. PCY. This card's great going first. Especially, I sided out going second, obviously. But if I win game 1. But flip Anti-Spell on your opponent. Pendulum Magician can't play around it, really. And they're basically fucked. And Trickstar has a hard time with it, and so does really Spiral. Because they have to set their field spell, and then they're not happy, and then I just pop it. Kozmo, non-targeting Banish. So basically what I do is, like if the Spiral player is Sleeper on the field, I'll set this card, I'll set this face down, and then they get Sleeper next turn. Say they have Sleeper next turn, I know what they're going to do. I bring like a big ship out. I have this. When they summon Sleeper, I just activate Kozmojo and banish their Sleeper, and it fucks up their plays. Or I've actually done it to stop their plays. I've actually hit the on summon when they summon out the double helix. Before they can activate the effect, I banish it. So you can't special, which is cool if you dare banish. 1 return. So that's it for the main deck. I'm going to get into combos a little bit in another video with a Matt video as well. But that's basically the main deck for you guys. Now I'm going to get into your side deck. I side decked 2 Droll and Lockbirds, but at the tournament, I don't really like it too much, playing too many hand traps, actually. Hand traps to this deck even. I love playing around it. It's an anti-meta deck, so I can shut down hand traps. And I don't know, hand traps versus hand traps, it's like whoever gets them. I'd rather play cards that can beat your deck rather than playing hand traps. Like I have Ash Blossom, I have here he is. Ash Blossom. I got like a couple of them. But I really just, my side deck had Drolls. I put them in and then I just took them out. Like after my matches, I was like meh. 2 System Downs for ABCs, which I never saw today. My friend was playing ABC, but I never saw it. 1 Maxi, the only hand trap I'm playing now in the deck. Free summons. It's the God card. 1 Cosmic Cyclone for Pendulum hate and Trickstar hate. 1 Denko Sekka for Paleo, which I never saw. 1 Good Witch, she's Book of Moon. 1 Dimensional Fissure for Everybody hate. 2 Prohibition for Invoked hate. Call Alistair. Against Spiral, call Spiral Super Agent. 1 Dark Hole for the board wipes. 1 Dimensional Barrier for Pendulum Hate, 1 Dogfighter for the rank 6 plays that I'm going to show you. It also gives you a token that you contribute for Masterpiece, which is really cool. I sign them in. And 1 Unnamed Nightmare, but I'm playing 2 now for Pendulum Hate. And this extra deck, let's get into it because it's going to get a long video today. Long video. 1 Big Eye, rank 7 plays. 1 Flare Metal, rank 7 plays. 1 Infinity, 1 Nova. You go into it with Slip Rider, and you just eat monsters for days. It's great. 1 Pallades to also Slip Rider plays to return 1 monster to the hand, which is also cool for if you want to get rid of a card, which is awesome. Polemi, rank 6 plays, which I told you about. Calamities, which you can make off the Miriam effects, which I've made once my whole entire time playing it. Sylvan Princess Sprite, you can get a spell and a trap card off of 2 tin cans, which is really cool when your tin can plays are over. Swordbreaker is really cool. You summon Swordbreaker, and you can kill any monster your opponent controls. So say they have a, say your opponent has a Big Eye on the field. I activate Swordbreaker's effect. You know, Big Eye has more attack than him, or whatever. Just call a monster that has more attack. And say Pallades is a light. So I call Swordbreaker effect, I call light. Attack with Swordbreaker, attack into Pallades, and then they both die, which is really cool. Oh, it's at the start of the damage step, so like you don't even do damage. So he just kills monsters. He doesn't even die, which is really cool. Swordbreaker doesn't die. He just kills monsters. I didn't realize that. I never made him really. But 1 Gaga Cowboy, if I side in, 800 for game is pretty good. 1 Curse Javelin, used to play 2, but that was when I was playing 3 Strawman. 1 Tachyon for the rank 8 play. Castell for the flip. 1 Volcasaurus for the burn. And 1 Baguska for the rank 4 plays. So that's really the deck, guys. I'll be back with a combo video and a review on MetaMats, so stay tuned. Thanks.